RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief. The answer to your question is learn the goddamn process, trade your trading plans, don't take too much risk on any one trade, and just let yourself get rich.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of The Rational Investor, where I am late again. Like, very late this time. Sorry guys. Let me explain why. So, for the past, I'm going to open the Discord, by the way, so I can watch some things and pull up the YouTube. I interrupted my intro. Wait a second. Let me just pull up the YouTube so I can see what you guys are saying when you're commenting. And then we will get to work with my absurd commentary about the changes I made, which you probably don't care about. But I'm going to talk about it anyway, because I care about it. And I want to talk to you guys about it. So, for the past year, I've been doing the shows from, I have 2 bedrooms and 2 baths in my condo, okay? Because 1 bathroom is not enough. I need a second one, just in case. You know, I need a change of scenery when I'm going to the bathroom. Anyway, I have a second bedroom that is not used. I live by myself. And so I turned the second bedroom into a studio, but it's kind of a small room. So I've been doing the daily briefs from like just this room, and that's my entire setup. And I hate it. I've hated it. I never, like, my imagine your desk setup in a room that you never want to be in, except when you have to do the show. So I didn't use it. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I have this really nice, I have this whole setup. Why don't I move my desk to somewhere I like? So I moved it into the main room, which, by the way, if you saw it, you would see that I have an amazing view of the entire city. It's an amazing panoramic 180-degree view. I'm very spoiled. And I now I use it every day, and I'm way more productive. So I'm doing the daily brief from that, and that's why we're late, because I couldn't get the camera lighting to be right in here. We finally figured it out. It took like over probably 40 minutes. I should have done it before. It's just, you know, last minute thing. Anyway, so the other cool thing is that I'm going to turn off the display capture and I'm going to show you. So, okay, display capture, turn off the media source. Okay, so you can see my background, right? Now, here's another crazy thing. I had a friend living in this condo and he moved out. And now he had a 48-inch 4K OLED TV. It's I think it was like $800 or $900. And he couldn't take it with him. So he said, you know, can I keep it with you for maybe 6 months to a year? And I said, okay. And I thought, maybe I try to use it as a monitor. So I turned it into a monitor. And what you're seeing here behind me is on the 48-inch OLED 4K screen. However, you are only seeing one portion of it. You're seeing 25% of the screen because it's around 1080p. That's all we really need for this show. Anything bigger, it's going to be too small. Nobody's going to be able to see it. So I thought, okay, I'll just make it a small window. So that took a while to set up too. But the cool thing is I have all these other windows. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, actually my laptop screen, which is a 17-inch of stuff happening, but you just can't see it. We're just in this small window. So a little fun update. So we're going to try to do the show this way. Hopefully it turns out okay. If we have some issues, I apologize in advance. Thank you, everybody, for waiting. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We've got 9 people in here. That's what I get for starting late. Only 9 people. I don't know how the camera is going to be because I'm going to be looking at the screen here. I'll get feedback later if it's not good. I know my little filter is not perfect right here. You can see the little, but I'm going to shrink myself. I'm going to shrink myself and then you can't see it. We're going to be small enough that you cannot see the defects. Okay. I think that's small enough to not see the. I got my Under Armour shirt on, representing advertising for Under Armour right here. Can't even see it. There we go, Under Armour. Yes. Okay. Let's get started since we're super late anyway. I have this extreme urge to enlarge this window because above it is like empty space. You guys can't see it, but I have this. I'm used to using the full monitor. It's such a strange experience for me right now. But it is about the same as my old monitor. Anyway, okay, not important. So let's look at what's happening. Forex, first of all, let's look at Forex Factory. What is happening in the news? Unemployment came out in line, which is interesting considering we had that big spike before. So interesting to see that they just came in line now. And do we have anything else coming up? Nope. We had CB leading index. Nothing. What's coming Friday? Nothing really. So nothing until next week. What happens next week? We got manufacturing PMI on Monday and consumer confidence, and then CPI on Wednesday. So, oh, that's for Australia. That's not as important. Sorry, Australia. You're still important. FOMC. So FOMC federal funds rate on Thursday. So we've got a whole week basically to relax before anything major comes out. Let's look at the expiration for the options. This tomorrow actually is what we care about. Tomorrow. So as you can see, a lot of puts down here. So puts at 450, as long as they close it above 450, they're in the clear. As long as they close it under 459, the market makers win. Where are we right now with the market? Let's look here. Where's my little window? Okay, can you guys see this window? Okay, let me know if at any point you can't see a certain window. So I've got, obviously you can see what I was looking at before, FET and APE, which we will talk about. S&P 500. Okay. Actually, I have all of my windows up here, but it's fine. So we're at right now 45.60. So it's around 456. So let's look at our options expiration. 459. They needed it under 459. 456 is actually maximum pain level. So we're already at the max pain level. All they need to do is hold the market here going into this Friday, tomorrow. So there's your, the big move I think happened today. The market declined, rolled over to destroy these options. 65,000 is quite a lot. But look at all these puts that got destroyed. 170. Holy shit. Crazy amount. It is, I believe it's monthly expiry. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it monthly expiry this week or is it next week? Is it this week or next week? Can't remember. Let's look at how many options there are. I mean, this is a lot. It must be monthly expiry. Wait a second. Let's see. What is the date next month? 27th, 28th is next week. 28th. How many do we have? Oh yes, a lot more. So this is monthly expiry this week. Yeah, they destroyed those puts. Wow. Well, partial explanation for why the market rallied, maybe. Okay, so there's that. Let's go back. Let's go to the charts. I'm gonna bring some of my other charts down of things I want to talk about. So NVIDIA, gold. We're gonna talk about gold. Had lots of nice trades on gold. Nearly 3x'd a TRI account. So we'll be talking about that. And I've been posting for anybody following along in my signal room. By the way, feel free, anybody that's new or watching, feel free to comment, criticize, whatever you want. As long as you're participating, it makes doing these live shows more fun. Okay, S&P. I don't like that I only have this little window right here, but it's very clear, so I think I'll be okay. It's just a bit odd. Let's go to a higher time frame. So maybe we go to a 2-week chart. We take a look. So on the 2-week chart, we are hitting a 9 on the Tom DeMark. Just something to keep in mind. Hitting a 9. Last time we hit an 8, we had a big decline. 9 before caused a pullback. There's been 7s in the past that have caused pauses. We hit a 9 here in the past in 2020. We had a big rejection from that and a pullback about, a solid 300 points from the high, almost a little bit over. Here was one time a 9 came in and we didn't have a pullback. Another time came in 8, pulled back, 9, it caused the top. So you can see multiple times when these did come in, there was at least almost every time there was at least a pause, if not a pullback. Also we have, let's go to a weekly. We've retraced to essentially the 78.6 level, which is 78.6 and 8.86 are the two levels I've always talked about that are common retracement levels where we get a pause. I mean, 61.8 as well, but 78.6 and 88.6 are what I always look for, especially when I'm trading something like a range. And we can also see that the RSI is very overbought. Stochastic's still stuck up here. So you have to be careful with shorts. But what I can say is that this is looking like it's hitting the top of this uptrending channel. You know, major resistance up here. And another cool thing, I haven't done any Elliott wave for you guys in a while, but I do think this situation looks a bit like this. And it looks like we just completed the 5-wave series. So, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if this is the area where we finally, you know, at least pause. We can't go much higher. I mean, 4,600 is pretty much the highest you can go. We should at least pause here. We're hitting a 7 on the daily with Tom DeMark. On the 3-day, we're also hitting a 7. On the weekly, we hit a 9 last week. Okay, so if anything, it should pull back from here. So we've got a 9, and then on the 2-week, we also have a 9. If this market, we've got a 7 and 8 here on the 12-hour. If this market doesn't pull back from here, or at least pause, I will be incredibly shocked. Like, I don't even know what to say. I will be purely just very, very surprised. I'm trying to think of another word for the fact that I will be super shocked, but I don't see how this has to stop. Like, there's been too much. That reminds me, we forgot to look at investor sentiment survey. We've got to look at investor sentiment. What are investor sentiment survey? Let's take a look at it. You guys know I haven't looked at this in 2 or 3 weeks. I think it's important to pay attention to. Okay, holy crap. So 51.4% of market participants are bullish now. Only 21% bearish. Wow. That is a big change. Yes, flabbergasted. Thank you, Chris. I am flabbergasted that 51.4% are bullish. How many people in here are bullish? You know what? Everyone that's in the chat, there's all 13 of you. I really like when we get over 20. I don't know what happened. All 13 of you, can you post if you're bullish or bearish? I wish we could do it like anonymously somehow with some kind of poll, because I feel like I think people are probably afraid to say because their name is next to it. Like, they don't want to say if they're bullish or bearish. Bearish. 2 people bearish. Interesting. Well, as you can see, most investors have flipped bullish. 51%. Very interesting. Very interesting to see. Okay. So, you know, I showed you Tom DeMark. Fed Now launched today. Oh, I don't have enough. I really need to read a bit about the Fed Now thing. Is it what maybe you can type a bit and educate us and we'll talk about it. But I don't feel comfortable talking about that topic too much because I haven't researched it extensively myself. I'm going to stick to the technicals that I'm seeing on the S&P. And everything points to that this is a potential topping area. However, if I'm playing it safe, if you want to play it safe, you really need to wait for this 3-day chart to break down. I've put it on a daily. It's a little bit easier to visualize, but I want to see this RSI breakdown from this uptrend line. That's going to be my really key short area. But because we're so close to the top of this trend line and there's so many Tom DeMark signals giving me so many Tom DeMark timeframes, TD timeframes, giving me reversal signals, I am nibbling a bit on the short side up here. So I have some shorts, and I'm targeting the 50% retracement down here at this area. So they're light shorts. I can add to them when things confirm, and then I can change my target as things develop to see where we may end up. The big issue I have is we don't really have any divergence, although sometimes divergences, it doesn't even work. So keep that in mind. Like, we had a major divergence here on the daily right here. It never broke down and confirmed. It almost did, and then it had a fake out and then reversed. So technically we're still in a bull. Have to be careful with shorts, but I do have a little bit of a short on here. Obviously, we break the highs, I'll take it off. But I thought, you know, with what I saw in the 2-week and all the other time frames, that this is finally a good spot to consider shorting again. For anybody paying attention, you know I was a bear for a while, and the past 2-3 weeks I have not been a bear. I haven't been taking any trades on the S&P. I've been trading gold, and I'm just waiting for the S&P to kind of basically top out, stop rallying. I'm not going to jump in now. The time to even consider jumping in the last time was July 10th at the midpoint of this uptrend. Let me see if I can look at a little bit lower time frame. I mean, 4 hour, this is a nice short signal for me. So this breakdown up here, and this is where I kind of took a short from the 40-70, 40-60 area, right like that. But again, it's small in size. I need to see higher time frame breakdown to really consider serious shorts from a significant trend change, and I just haven't seen that yet. We can look at the 2-week, and what can we take from this 2-week? Maybe we go to a weekly. I mean, weekly we can say this was a W, right? So the only thing I'm concerned about is chaos and this being a potential W. So if I reverse this, right, and we go full screen, yeah, it would be like that. The only thing I'm concerned with is that chaos points to 5,500. That's the chaos target of this massive W breakout. We hit the 1.618. We paused there for about 3 weeks. Now we're pushing higher, and the next target is this 4750 level with a 2.618 and then 4.669. That's my big concern, but it doesn't always work. And I'm getting a lot of topping signals with this uptrend. So that hopefully explains why I'm putting on a small short position here. But if we break the highs, I will take it off. So hopefully that explains my position. I don't like going against the trend. We are in an extreme uptrend. You can see even my background signal indicator is green. And it's been basically going green since April. It flip-flopped here, and then finally it stayed green since actually the beginning of April, end of March. And it's been green ever since. I mean, if you entered here on this green turn, you would have made major profits. This was a short-lived one. You would have lost a little bit here maybe, and then this one you would have made nice profits. Okay, so that's kind of my thoughts on the S&P. Let's look at a few stocks. I mean, NVIDIA is the big one. You guys know I've been following NVIDIA forever, waiting for this 3-day chart to break down. We had a breakdown here. It turned out to be a bit of a false breakdown. I'm gonna actually try to make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it more. This was kind of like a false breakdown here. I want to adjust this line a little bit. I need to see a full serious breakdown to really consider shorts on NVIDIA. But what I'm seeing here on the daily, where we've hit a 7 and 8 again, it's not a bad potential short area. I mean, you can see last time we hit a 7 and 8, it rolled over at least a bit. You could have at least moved your short to break even, move your stop to break even, and this happened multiple times before. Right here it didn't work, but here it worked, here it worked, here it worked. It works, I would say 60 to 70% of the time. So when this signal comes in, I do take it seriously. This 3-day is just ridiculous. Weekly chart, yeah, weekly is just absurd. I mean, has it ever been this overbought? There was one time right here, one time where it was like that, this overbought, and what happened? When it was that overbought, it actually ended up pausing for quite a while and then continuing higher. That's why I don't like to go too crazy with shorts when RSI is embedded in this bullish area. And that's kind of what we're seeing now, where we have an embed, and it can pause and then just keep going up forever. And you really have to wait for that trend line reversal, which is what I'm trying to look for on this 3-day chart and also a daily chart. The daily is a bit harder. You can see I have this second line. Actually, this line should not be even being shown on the daily. So I need to remove it for most of these. Weekly, and then on the daily, it's just with the 3. And I don't want to see it on these other time frames. Okay. So that's NVIDIA. No clear short yet, but it's not a terrible area to consider shorts, and then you just set your stop at the highs. But no serious breakdown yet, so don't go betting the farm. But potential for this to be a topping area. Okay, so that's the video. I just wanted to touch on that. We are, how far into this are we? Oh, we have 17 people now. Welcome whoever joined late. And it's okay because I'm always late. Okay, 20 minutes in. So I think, you guys like to talk about Bitcoin. Should probably talk about that. Let's do gold really fast. And then we can talk about Bitcoin. Oh, look at gold came down to my target. I had a short on earlier and it came down and tagged. Oh, no, it didn't. My target was 1964 and it tagged 1965. Close enough. Okay, so why did I start posting a lot and taking longs on gold? Well, because it broke out of my RSI downtrend. It took had a downtrend, broke out, retested it. This was my long. I longed at around 1910 and I rode it all the way up and my portfolio doubled. And then since then I've traded it a bit and I'm up another 50% on the portfolio. From the original portfolio, it would be 25% or a little bit more than 25% on the new balance. So say it was, I'm not going to give you the exact number, but let's say it's $100 and then it became $200 and now it's like $260, $270. So that's the little update on the portfolio. I exited at these highs and I took a short. And that's, I was stopped out actually of my short because I had to cook dinner and they did some like weird spike move and I had moved my stop a little bit below break even and I got stopped out. But it makes sense that I switched to short when the 7 and 8 started coming in on the time to mark on the daily, and they took out these highs, which is what I was waiting for them to grab the liquidity all the way up here. You can see they took it all the way up to 1987, which makes complete sense. We are still in this uptrending channel, but on the 8-hour it's broken down. So I'm watching to see, will this channel hold or will it break down? And if it breaks down, can I hop into some significant shorts? And that really depends on the dollar. The dollar's been crazy, and I think the dollar is controlling the gold market more than anything else, and maybe all the other markets. Let's take a quick look at DXY. Daily chart, DXY. So DXY is still in a downtrend for me. I need to see it breach this RSI line. But again, TD strikes again. So we've got a 7 and 8 that came in, and boom, reversal. And where could we potentially go? So this is your W actually here. Down here is a little baby one. So something like that. And chaos points to 101.6, which is, that makes sense as a retracement area. You would tag the underside of my trend heuristic channel, which often acts as a major resistance. So I could see gold pulling back until we tag that level. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing for the dollar. I think you're running into a major resistance up here, and you see how look at this. If we push up just a bit more, we'll tag this, which is also the 50 EMA, and RSI will do this, and it'll look like it's breaking out, and what they'll do is they'll pull it back in and then pull it back down again, something like that, and go back down, and maybe then we can get our divergence and our W. But I would be careful up here, and that's when I would then switch to looking for longs on gold. So the short story for gold, unless we break down further, is almost over. And you can consider starting to hunt longs again. But I'd like to see one more push to cause like a false breakout out of this channel. I'm gonna wait for a cross on this 1 hour with gold and a push higher and then reversal in DXY before I start buying gold again on leverage. That's kind of my general plan for that side. I'll keep posting updates in my signal room. I'll try to get better at posting those updates. Sometimes I take a trade and I forget to post, or I'm like, I don't want to post because I'm not 100% about the trade. I admit I don't like posting something publicly and being wrong. So I'm very careful about what I actually post, but I'm trying to get better at that. And just anytime I see a trade, I post it. I don't think that's true, Ryan. I think you post a lot. I appreciate you watching. I feel honored. Brian is here watching me. Thank you. Okay, so how far are we into this? 25 minutes. Let's jump over to crypto. Does the screen look okay for you guys, by the way? It's fine? No issues? Crypto total. Oh. Ugh. Not looking great here. So on a weekly, the weekly almost has a divergence forming. I mean, RSI did not make it a higher high, but the weekly tried to breach the highs. Oh, interesting. See on the 3-day a 9 came in. We got a 7 on the daily. Yeah, I can't yawn. He's watching. Oh, it's bad enough I started late. I'm very sorry. Didn't expect it to take so long to set up like a 4K TV. The 4-hour looks like it's breaking down. It does. I mean, we had a 9 that came in. Should have caused a reversal. It did. We got a spike and then a reversal. I would be very cautious and careful with crypto here. I don't like what I'm seeing. I would let me look at Bitcoin. I mean, usually the total tells us what is going to happen with Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin. Wow, Bitcoin looks like a disaster. Yeah, total breakdown on Bitcoin. Yeah, if we break down below this trend heuristic, I don't see why we can't head all the way down to this 27.5 area, 27.5, 800 area. This does not look good. If we look at this range, so based on the distribution, we can call it a distribution range. This is pointing to 23,700, which would make sense to go down to this level. I would say, actually 20. I'm gonna move this green box over here. 25 to 23 makes a lot of sense to me. They take out all the liquidity, all the stops down here, and they have a major support here from this price action back in February and March. A lot was done there. I think this would be a good area to support it. And it matches up to what we're seeing with the S&P, where the S&P needs to have a pullback. It's just way too overextended. So when the S&P has a pullback, Bitcoin should logically follow. Hopefully that makes sense. This is kind of a general target. I don't have a perfect trade setup. I mean, if we get a spike, obviously you can consider taking shorts. I don't know if here is necessarily the best level. If it was me and if I was not in a short right now, I would look for rebounds to short from. You can see here was your last chance to short at 3,300, where they took out the past almost 5 days of action, which is something you often want to look for in crypto. If you're considering shorts or longs, try to have your entry at a level that, if you are a market maker, you want to grab the liquidity from the last 3 days of action and everyone who set their stops there. Yeah, lots of liquidity. Yeah, I mean, to me, it looks like it's already breaking down and they've already grabbed a bunch of liquidity. It looks like they grabbed it before 31,700. We do have a 7 coming in on the daily. That's interesting. We haven't broken down from this trend heuristic channel. But in these lower time frames, it doesn't look great. I want to see a reversal from this area. I mean, if you were, let's say you were trading the range, this is actually where you'd buy. You'd buy here and set your stop below the lows. So if you're a bull, then your long is here, your stop is right below these lows, and your target is likely somewhere in the new highs. I mean, I could say this is a accumulation area, and this is the general zone, and chaos tells me we're going to go to 32,500, and I could target that. So this is actually the easier trade, but it doesn't look great on these lower time frames. This is a serious breakdown, in my opinion. The only issue is that we have this trend heuristic line, which has often provided support in the past. So, yeah, that's where I'm long from on BTC. Still looks bullish to me. Yeah, until the trend heuristic breaks down, the trend is still bullish. But I'm getting some warning signs of a potential breakdown that would follow the S&P 500. Then again, you also have support here. So the trade that you can take that has the highest reward and the least risk is probably a long from here, while a short, you'd have to set your stop way higher than where we are, like 1,000 points higher. But for a long, you can long now and set your stop just 200 points lower. So from a risk reward perspective, the bull trade is it's a better location. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. I want to talk about ApeCoin. I had a breakout here on the daily chart, a major long signal. So I took a long down here. I think I got in at $2 right here. So I'm in a slight profit. Hopefully Bitcoin doesn't crash completely and just destroy this entire setup. Technically, this is still bearish as it's below my trend heuristic channel. But if I can get a push above and hold above it, it should start a new trend, unless something like this happens back in April, where you had a 7 and 8 come in and just complete destruction of the little ApeCoin. But here it's a nice breakout on the daily. What other coins did I have? FET. FET was looking good, and it was in this nice uptrend, and it broke. It broke from the downtrend. Nice breakout, retests, multiple retests. So above the VIP line. So for me, this is was a great long setup. Not looking so great now. Really needed to bounce from here. Otherwise, we're heading back down to these lows. And it looks like it's getting ready to do that. But there's always potential for it to reverse and head higher. It's kind of a shitcoin. So, I mean, it's not a shitcoin, I shouldn't say. It's just an altcoin. FET's been around a while. It's not like something that was made last week. There's my viewpoint on that. I don't know how much that one helps. It's just one of those days. I don't have a lot of traits. I really don't. Let's see. So I was just reminded, and I also noticed myself. We're at 33 minutes. So I think I'm going to call it a day for the public stream, and we're going to take it to the after party. And then the after party, I will get a water and answer anything you guys want to look at. You want to go back to gold, you want to go back to stocks, we can talk about it all day. You want to talk about altcoins nonstop, we can talk about altcoins nonstop. You want to discuss what's going on with the Fed Now launch, we can do that. All right. Thank you, everybody, on the public show. And if you're not a part of TRI, please consider signing up. It's a lot of fun. And the silver membership is really not that much, considering how much we do on the site. Also, I thought I'd point out our breath indicator continues to kill. And by kill, I mean perform very well. I need to update. I'm going to update the performance with the recent. It's been a little bit wishy-washy the past month. I haven't updated it since June, so I'm going to, I think it's taken 2 or 3 trades since then. I'm going to update it and we'll see what kind of performance we're at now. But as you guys can see, we've been tracking it since the end of 2021 with Bitcoin. This is just Bitcoin trades. And if you compound, we started with 10K and we compounded and reinvested the whole thing every time. And you can see it's at 785% return. 2x margin is at 2,575%. And yes, this includes all of the fees, which there are a lot on most exchanges that people don't account for. This one over here that says 334%, that's from reinvesting the same amount every time. So we had 10K, reinvest 10K every time. And then the rest we just take out as profit. So technically only 10K of this is being invested, while the other 23K, 23.4K is just pure profit, paying for a condo or something, who knows. Okay, just wanted to show the breadth and mention that I will update it, and we'll go over the updated returns next week. If you're a member, you can see these results, but you can't access the actual signals and the pro signal room. It's a separate subscription, and it's much more expensive. We do talk about the breath signals like a week after they come out, but we can't. If these results were fake, we would give it away for like $40. But because it is real and it's ridiculously good, it's much higher subscription costs, and we're probably going to have to raise it a lot more in the future. And most people are telling us we shouldn't even be selling it. So it's another thing that we're kind of considering, like, should we even be selling this? So yeah, that's just the honest truth. All right. If you're a member, I will see you in the after party. If you're not, thank you very much for watching. Consider becoming a member. All right. Bye guys. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.